Laura Ingraham isn't married and doesn't have children. So what, right? But here's the point. Laura Ingraham is an odd person. She attacks regular Americans for having an opinion.
We're going to create a new banner. This is a Jum Doc alert. NBA superstar LeBron James is talking politics again. Here's his barely intelligible, not to mention ungrammatical take on President Trump. Must they run their mouths like that? You're great players, but no one voted for you. Millions elected Trump to be their coach. So keep the political commentary to yourself, or as someone once said, shut up and dribble.
I've been on her show a few times, and she treated me with respect even when I hit back hard. And when I had a radio show in San Francisco, her crazy brother would call in and want to trash her on air. I wouldn't put him on because it had nothing to do with politics. And I heard through a friend at Fox that she appreciated me for that, and that's why she would put me on her show. But despite that, Ingram's trapped by her own doing, and that's the problem with money. I feel bad in some ways for Ingraham because I think, like many people, she doesn't know what to do next. So she keeps on saying stupid shit, and I keep telling you about it. And here's the latest. Nutty Laura is now going after young people, Gen Zs, for not having children, for not ranking marriage and child rearing as essential measures of success. But here's the kicker. Ingraham has never been married, and she's never birthed a good idea, much less a child. So you think someone on her staff might have said, Laurie, you're being a bit of a hypocrite here. MAGA loves to make the case that not getting married and having kids when you're young makes you, well, un-American. But what they're really saying is, women, know your place.
And young conservative men seem to still have their priorities straight, because a new poll from NBC News shows that men ages 18 to 29 who voted for Trump ranked having children as their number one priority, the definition of success. Being married came in number 4. So what about Gen Z men who voted for Kamala? Well, they ranked having children at number 9, getting married at number 10. Ooh. It's even worse with female Gen Z Kamala voters. Being married at 11, way down on the list for them. Having kids, well, that's ranked way down at number 12.
Republicans love to make this case for traditionalism, like Leave It to Beaver.
Whenever we cook inside, Mom always does the cooking. But whenever we cook outside, you always do it. How come?
Well, it's sort of traditional, I guess. They say a woman's place is in the home, and I suppose as long as she's in the home, she might as well be in the kitchen.
And JD Vance put it out there, and MAGA loved it.
We're effectively run in this country via the Democrats, via our corporate oligarchs, by a bunch of childless cat ladies.
Yeah, JD's a perfect mouthpiece for American men looking for a barefoot pregnant princess. But MAGA is losing the argument. The latest polling, it shows that Trump has lost 34% of young male voters. So what does that mean? Well, the pollsters say they may want a young wife, but just not as young as 13.
Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein?
And having children right now with Trump and MAGA's attack on healthcare and Planned Parenthood, how does that make sense? I mean, having kids with a recession and unemployment going through the roof, well, how does that make sense? And for the record, 97% of what Planned Parenthood does is help red state white girls with OBGYN issues, and not abortion, but Texas, Louisiana, Arkansas, Tennessee, Oklahoma, Georgia, South Carolina, they're all eliminating Planned Parenthood locations. So get married, be broke with no childhood vaccines available, no job to pay off student loans, and be forced to use cheap daycare because you can't survive on one income. That's brilliant. These white guys like JD Vance, well, JD hopped on the MAGA train, but underestimated the hate and fear waiting in the wings.
JD Vance also has a non-white wife, an Indian wife, and a kid named Vivek. All his kids have Indian names. So it's like, what exactly are we getting here? And that's not a dig at him just because I'm a racist or something. But it's like, who is this guy really? Do we really expect that the guy who has an Indian wife and named their kid Vivek is going to support white identity?
Yeah, that guy, the white supremacist who died at Mar-a-Lago, he's attacking Vance's wife, and Vance doesn't say shit. So much for those strong family values, huh, JD?
Childless cat ladies.
Did you know that MAGA Republicans actually blocked an amendment guaranteeing a married woman's right to vote? I'm not kidding.
Today, I introduced an amendment that would have stopped this bill from being implemented unless we could just certify that no eligible married woman would be denied the right to vote. That should go without saying. Republicans blocked it. Let me repeat that. Republicans voted down my amendment that just would have ensured that women who are eligible and registered could still cast their ballot. This puts up to 70 million women at risk of disenfranchisement. 70 million. That's 1 in 4 voters in this country. And the burden will fall hardest on working mothers, caregivers, those juggling jobs and families who have barely a moment to spare. It's outrageous that in the year 2025, more than a century after the 19th Amendment was ratified, we still have to defend a woman's right to vote. But we will, every single day, if that's what it takes, because this is personal. It's for the mom in Gresham who can't afford to take unpaid time off work to go hunt down paperwork. It's for the woman in Hood River whose name no longer matches her birth certificate, who doesn't have the $160 for a passport. Are we really going to tell her she can't vote? Republicans failed to show up for their mothers, their daughters, their wives, and every woman in their life. But we are going to keep showing up, and we're just getting started. We're not going to stop until we build a government where working mothers and families can also thrive.
And Republicans love to point to studies showing younger women today are more depressed than they were, say, 20 years ago. I wonder why. Maybe, and I'm just spitballing here, we live in a patriarchal society where women no longer have control over their own bodies.
We control your bodies. Guess what? Guys win again, okay? Men win again. And yes, we control your bodies. It's your body, my choice. And men, women again. Men win again. There will never, ever be a female president.
We live in a society that allows men to sexually harass women and then blame it on the way they dress. We have courts that allow rapists to impregnate their victims and have visitation rights. And most importantly, whenever a woman has something to say, men attack them with the same old tired tropes.
No one trusts her. No one takes her seriously. Everyone knows she is a very low IQ individual.
And of course, your president has made it clear that women have no place in his life but underneath his whale-like gut. He's a man who had sex with a porn star while his wife was breastfeeding their son, a man who palled around with a child sex trafficker, and then lied about visiting the island where the children were assaulted.
Would you declassify the Epstein files?
Yeah, I would. I'd be inclined to do the Epstein. I'd have no problem with it.
Seriously, we need to release the Epstein list. That is an important thing.
Why is the FBI protecting the greatest pederast, the largest scale pederast in human history?
Simple, because of who's on that list. Put on your big boy pants and let us know who the pedophiles are.
I think tomorrow, Jesse, breaking news right now, you're going to see some Epstein information being released by my office. It's sitting on my desk right now to review. A truckload of evidence arrived. It's now in the possession of the FBI. It's a new day. It's a new administration, and everything's going to come out to the public.
And just this week, Trump said domestic violence isn't a crime and the cops shouldn't be called.
They said crime's down 87%. I said, no. It's more than 87%. Virtually nothing. And much lesser things that take place in the home they call crime. You know, they'll do anything they can to find something. If a man has a little fight with the wife, they say this was a crime, see? So now I can't claim 100%.
Look, Laura Ingraham doesn't have kids by birth, but she did adopt 3 children, and I give her kudos for that. But she did it after she had started a successful career. So why would she make this very case against her very own choice? So all you MAGA girls, have 5 kids before you're 30, live in a trailer, and watch your wife beat her boyfriend drink himself to sleep watching NASCAR. I'll look for you on the next edition of Cops.
Goddamn right.
Are you not entertained?
It's sitting on my desk.
Who are you talking to?
I could be a stupid person.
Trump admitted he knew Epstein for 15 years.
Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein?
Do you have no shame?
I'm sorry, ma'am.
You're a nasty person.
Seriously, we need to release the Epstein list.
It's not fair. They don't know what the fuck they're doing.
I don't want to talk about this stuff.
Am I wrong?
Yes.
TikTok.
You're in a lot of trouble, Donnie.
I think he's crazy.
I'm Chip Franklin.